welcome to tonight's show, the first but not the last episode of Hits and Heels with Coach Terri and Dani. She's Terri, I'm Dani. Together we're Hits and Heels, man. Oh my gosh, Terri, Coach, what's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? We finally made it on live.
Yeah, so we're so excited. We are so excited. Okay, Christina is here already. She's live with us on tonight's show. That's our homegirl, Christina.
Hey, boo. That's
Hey,
my
boo.
boo.
So we just want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Share this, like our page. All you have to do is search Hits and Heels. We're the only one called Hits and Heels. So make sure you head over to our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram. Pretty soon, we're going to have a YouTube channel where you can go back and watch all of the episodes. And all of our podcasts are going to be uploaded on Buzzsprout. And so soon after that, we hope to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio. I'm just calling it all out.
We
We're gonna
speaking
be on
all of
TV.
that. We
We're gonna be
speaking
on
all of
TV.
that.
We're gonna be on TV. Just watch. Just watch. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. We're excited. Let's get this show on the road. Terri.
All right, sis. How you want to pop this off? So won't you tell everybody how we even got to this place?
I mean, so one thing about me and Terri, so whenever we got stuff going on, like I'll be like, okay, let's pray, right? So it was so funny. I was just praying before we got on air, and I was like, thank you for my new sister. I feel like I've known her all my life. But what's crazy is we have a mutual friend, Michael Douglas. Shout out to Michael Douglas. Thank you for the connect. We love and appreciate you so much. But I started coaching football back in June. And when Michael found out I was coaching, he connected me with Terri. Just because she's coaching football too. Her story is amazing. She's coaching with her husband. Okay. So that could be a whole episode on its own. Let's write that down. Make sure that we make that an episode. Okay.
Absolutely.
And we gotta have Coach Cisco come on the show and make a guest appearance because their story of how they met, how they got started coaching, and their experience as a husband and wife team. And he lets everybody know, I go, she goes. Okay, I come, she comes. We're a package deal. So anyway, I reached out to Terri. I was like, I need advice. I just need a mentor. I need another female in this industry that's coaching and not just in the sports. And so we started talking, and then we realized we have like close to 100 mutual friends, not just like Facebook friends, but like friends, because she's from Lexington, Kentucky. And I lived in Kentucky for 3.5 years. So this entire time, in all my time in Kentucky, somehow we never met in person. And then we get connected by someone else that we've never met in person on Facebook. He connects us, and it's literally been like a wrap. Like the rest is history. Like whatever you want to call this, it's like, yes, that's what it is. That's how we met. And we realized we had so much more in common than just the mutual friends. The only thing is, like, we're like a house divided, right? She's a UK diehard UK fan. I'm a diehard Louisville fan. So we're gonna have to do like I might have to
And
come
I'm a
back.
Cowboys fan, and she's an Eagles fan. We're in the
That's the
same
other
division.
okay. Yes, she's a Cowboys fan and I'm an Eagles fan. We are truly a house divided. But we have fun. We love sports, and so um we started talking. Terry, I'll let you tell this part about how we even got to the point where we had a podcast.
I don't even know how we got to the point where we decided to do a podcast. Besides the fact that our conversations would just always be about, girl, did you see this? Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you see that? But I think just us talking about football on a regular basis. I mean, because you got to think, we were both. I had just started our conditioning for the summer, and I
Mm-hmm.
think you guys were in the process of it too. And then
Right.
we were both kind of just taking notes back and forth. Well, this is what happened in practice. What did you see this? What do you give you advice about this? I had this quarterback that did this. What happens when the other assistant coaches aren't respectful, and so from there it just kind of went from there, where we were just having just so many conversations regarding sports, and we had just so much in common about our passion for sports, that we was like, girl, we should just do a podcast. And of course, you know how people do. We just be talking about it. But then this one right here, she was like, well, I'm getting ready to pop it all off. She started sending me all the links, and I was like, okay, well, we get ready to really make this happen. Well, let's do it then. She sends me the graphics. We start promoting it. Bam, here we are. I'm so excited.
Yes, but the other part was that what she's not telling you, because she refuses to promote herself, so I'm gonna do it for her. So Terry is like a guru. Yes, I say guru, like goo gaga. Okay, she is. I can't even put it to words. She is a sports and coaching genius. Okay, I say everybody needs a Terry in their life, like cheerleader, great support system, listening ear. And so when she started telling me about the things that she wanted to do, I was like, you have so much knowledge, and you can take all of this stuff and package it, and um, you can leave your full-time job because you have full-time job knowledge that needs to be put out there, because other women need to hear what you have. They need to hear the knowledge that you have. And so we started talking about her speaking, and she was like, well, I'm not a good speaker. I'm not a good speaker. That's just, I want to do it, but that's just, that's not my strength. And I was like, whatever, girl, we're about to make this pop. Okay. We're about to push you out there, because she truly is like an encyclopedia. Like, she's like cooler than a fan, too. So I think that for me, I saw something in you, Terry, that I was just like, wait a minute. I did kind of like bulldoze the situation, was like, we're about to start this podcast. And
Yeah, she punked me. She punked me. She punked me.
but it's one of those things where you can find a whole bunch of reasons why you shouldn't do it, and the things that would disqualify you or make you feel disqualified, and all the things that just we come up with so many reasons why we can't do something. And Terry will tell you, like, both of our schedules are absolutely insane. But then also, like, do not call, text, email, nothing Thursday through Monday and
It's a
Wednesday.
wrap.
She has games on Wednesday.
I have games
Right?
on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So
Yeah.
this is why our podcast is on tonight. This is the only time time slot out of the whole week that we was able to carve out an hour
Yeah,
because we're
and then
busy the rest of the week.
I facilitate a class from 6 until 8:30 every Tuesday night. So if y'all see me sweating, it's I'm not nervous. I'm burning up because I felt like I jogged home. But I think that what we're doing, and this is not even to toot our own horn, it's so important because, you know, number one, there are not enough Black women in the podcast space, and let alone there are not enough Black people, period, in media, in sports, right? The NFL has how many Black head coaches now?
Two, three,
Three.
three. So
Tampa,
Tomlin,
yep.
Bowles, and Smith.
Smith, three. Three.
Three.
And and before this year, we were, you know, how many they had several coaches get fired last year. And so then it became this issue of when when Bowles and Smith got hired, this year was, oh, you know, they're just trying to meet the quota of Black people in the league. There shouldn't be a quota because Black stories, Black voices, Black culture is American culture. It's just as important as the heroic story of whatever, whoever, right? Our voices should be included and it needs to become the norm. You know, now the cliche is let's normalize this and let's normalize that. Okay, well, let's normalize Black people being in all the spaces, right? So we don't, it's 2022. Okay. So, but we're still shocked at stories like, which we'll talk about this more next week. We'll get into some of these stories. The nine black female, the 9 Black women in, where were they? Mississippi?
Mississippi. All Black female football crew, officiating crew. Like
And
first
that was
time
the
ever down there.
first
Yeah.
time ever
In
on the
Mississippi.
SIP.
Right.
So I mean, just we want you all to think about these things, not because um you know, we're trying to mute other voices, but our goal with Hits and Heels is to talk sports, share our knowledge, help other women understand the game of football, educate women in our community about opportunities that are available for um, our youth in non-traditional sports. So, you know, the idea that Black people only play football, basketball, baseball here and there, and run track. You know, I went to Hampton University, the real HU, and we had a sailing team. We have a sailing team. And so to see, you know, Black people sailing, uh, like
Yeah,
there's something.
because Black people don't like the water anyway. You know, last
Right.
time they brought us on the boat, what?
We ended up in America.
Right. So we ain't trying to get on no boat. I'm just saying. So that's impressive that they have a sailing team at
Yes.
Hampton.
But even sports like lacrosse,
Yes.
and a lot of people don't know this. And I tell this, I love Hampton University. And when it broke that Hampton University had a men's lacrosse team, the media and the articles were that Hampton University was the first Black college with a D1 lacrosse team. That's not true. Howard University is actually the first Black college, the first HBCU with a lacrosse D1 lacrosse team. They have a women's lacrosse team. But I think that when we don't recognize and we don't amplify these stories, then another story comes along and it's like it replaces facts. It replaces stories that should have been told a long time ago. So both equally important, right? But we need to understand the facts. We need to be willing to correct um, people and stories that are incorrect or that are skewed or that downplay Black excellence and female excellence as well. So here we are.
Here we
Here
are.
we are. I'm so excited because I feel like this is easy for us. This is a passion for us, and this is something that like we have fun doing. And I feel like this is just our regular conversation.
I mean, most of the time we're just going to get on here and we're just going to have a conversation
Yeah.
as if we're on the phone. And
Yes.
all we did was we're just going to take our conversation that we've been having on the phone for the last since June and put it and let everybody
Yes.
dip and dabble and meddle into our conversation. I mean, that's basically what we're getting ready to do.
That's
right?
really that's really the gist of it. Like we're about to let y'all meddle in our business and our conversations. So yes. Yes. I left that comment up. I forgot to take it down. So, but yes. So drop us some comments if you're tuning in on Facebook. Let us know who you are, where you're from, how you know us, if you know us. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. Make sure that you're following our page. And what
We got
else?
an IG. Yeah, we're
We
on
have
IG as well.
Mm-hmm.
Should be up.
Yep. So I'm gonna put our IG
Okay.
link.
Well, I know we got Christina is online, and she's probably going to be a guest speaker. I'm going ahead and setting you up for that one already, Coach Coleman. So again, one of the conversations that we talked about with people that y'all don't know about. So I'm gonna give you a real quick background with me. I coach in Lexington, Kentucky. I the assistant head coach with my husband, which I don't know. I'm looking. I'm still looking. I don't know if there's another husband and wife duo that coach football together. I know that there are some duos that coach basketball, track, and maybe some other sports, but I don't know if there's any that coach football together. On a school level, maybe in Pee Wee or something like that, but I don't know. If there are, make sure y'all drop their name so I can meet them because I want to know, right? So I'm also an assistant coach with the only professional football, well, the only professional, well, it's not the only professional team, the only professional women's football team in the state of Kentucky, and that team is called the Derby City Dynamite. And they are a women's for real tackle football. It's not the lingerie league. They are in full football gear, and they
Tackle, and it's not powder puff.
and it's not powder puff, it's not flag, it's real tackle football. And they are the only women's team in the state of Kentucky that has brought a national championship to the state of Kentucky. Now we've got lots of good teams. We got Kentucky, we got Louisville, we got WKU, we got EKU, we got Moorhead. I mean, we got different schools that are here, but none have bought a national championship on a professional level. Like we have national championships at Louisville and Kentucky for basketball. But that's That's about it. They're the only professional team here. I think the only other professional teams they have in Kentucky are, I think, is soccer. I think.
Soccer,
I
right?
think. I don't know. I will have that information for y'all on some other time on what we got here. And of course, Danny's in Ohio, and they got some great teams in Ohio as well. You know, my son. I have to talk about my son and plug my son. So my
Yes.
son is one of the top athletes in Kentucky. He's presently committed to Kentucky. My husband also played at Kentucky. So, of course, that's why I decided to wear Kentucky on my first day for our podcast to represent the UK. Plus, UK for since the first time since 1976 or 74 is in the top 10. They busted the top 10 for football after knocking out Florida this past weekend. And so I'm flat out excited about that. Shout out to Dane Key, who went to Frederick Douglass. Shout out to Jagger Burton, who went to Frederick Douglass. And shout out to DeKale Crowders, who went to Frederick Douglass. So I got to shout out my son's school, Frederick Douglass, and some of his players that are there. Anyway,
And Dane Key just got
he just got SEC
SEC
freshman
freshman of the
player of the
week.
year, freshman of the week. Yes. Yeah, right. So we're excited about that. So Dane is one of Ty's, one of his best friends, right? And so, you know, I've seen this kid grow up since he was like 5, and just to see where they are now from where they came from is absolutely amazing. They come from great parents. I love his mom and dad. I love his big brother who is on the practice squad for the Kansas City Chiefs, and you know, we're just doing great things. So that's one of the things that we are going to probably talk about in the future is I do love talking about the whole recruiting process. And I do want, because we went through it, I do want to be able to help families, especially the single moms who know
Yeah.
nothing about football or sports, or they have no clue what the heck is going on.
Mm,
Besides just going and clapping for their baby when they're on the court or on their on the field,
right.
but they have no idea about the whole recruiting process. And now, you know, now that they have the NIL now, the name, image, and likeness, which means that up until last year, this is the first year where college players actually have the opportunity to get paid for their name, image, and their likeness. And so that has just changed the whole game of college. And so we're going to
Absolutely.
talk about, you know, now we got to start treating sports as a business. It can no longer be a hobby if your child is playing. They got to take this a little bit more serious. Otherwise, they're going to be leaving some money on the table.
Yes. And so that's one of the things that we're also going to do is bring in guests who are experts in these various fields. So sports lawyers, sports agents, other coaches. Hopefully we can get some players on here as well. They can talk about how they've turned their name, their image, and their likeness into coins. And I've said this forever. It's about time.
Finally.
There's absolutely no reason. First of all, okay, y'all, I'm about to get on my soapbox a little bit.
And
I and
we were trying to be nice on this first one, right?
Terry and I talk about this all the time. How um, American higher education is one of the biggest scams known to man. Why are we paying this much for school? And then you are telling athletes that they can't earn a certain amount of money. But if I'm a regular student, I can go out there and work 50 jobs. I can sell dinners, breakfast, all kinds of things. I can sell beads. I can you know what I'm saying? I can do all these things, but we were limiting our student athletes to peanuts. For for why? It's terrible English, but for why? Why would we do that? You know, so Terry and I have always said, like, it is about freaking time. Like, it's about time that these kids are able to earn income, you know? And so we're excited to see this, but we also know that with such a large opportunity is going to come a large level of responsibility. And so we want to make sure that the student athletes, their parents, their mentors, whoever's in their life that's supporting them have the information so no one can come along and scam you. They can't use you for your money, none of that. And so, that's this this podcast is very much about athletics. It's very much about our love for football. Each week we're going to do a recap of the previous week's top games. We're going to have some controversial issues. Like, we're going to talk about Russell Wilson and Sierra and why so many men think he's a punk. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's get it in. Let's talk. But we're also going to talk about why there are only 3 Black head coaches. But we're then going to flip it and talk about the importance of having 9 Black women, all Black women officiating crew for a football game. We're going to chat about Serena Williams and her legacy. And is Venus didn't retire. And I think a lot of people are forgetting about that too. And that's not taken away from Serena, but Venus is still out there. And she ain't no slouch. Okay? So there are so many things to talk about. I have a background in sport management and athletic administration, but also in communications and marketing and branding, digital communications, and digital media. So all of these things are colliding on our show, and it's awesome. It's so exciting to have Terri, the other side, which I don't know why she ain't tell y'all this. She's also a health nut. Okay. I'm about to embarrass the mess out of her. But I gotta find this picture of Terri, right? I saved it, but I can't find it. And Terri is up there. And I think she did. When you're blowing a kiss at your bicep, like for real, y'all. I gotta find this picture. I'm gonna flash it up on the screen might be next week when I find it. But oh my gosh, she's a health nut. She's a health coach as well. She is an entrepreneur. She sells health products and promotes health and wellness while you're maintaining your physical fitness. So all of that is going to be part of our show. So we need y'all to come back. We're doing this every Tuesday at 9 p.m. And anytime we are not live, you're still going to get the recorded session at 9 p.m. because it's that important to us. And plus, like, y'all need to be like flies on the walls for our normal. This is normal for us. Like, these are our normal day-to-day conversations. So we're excited.
I'm just saying we really didn't get a chance to like I said, just chat about it, like, just what happened over the weekend. So I'm a Cowboys fan, so Dak's hurt, so Cowboys their season is trash. Already it's done, it's a wrap, right? But how about they don't have no good backup quarterback? Like, why would you not go and get somebody after Dak had a major injury last season? Why would you not go and get somebody that's a little bit more quality than Cooper? What's his name? Cooper Cup or something like that. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever his name is, Cooper Rich Cooper. I don't even know his name. I'm just saying, right? So and then he's in the game and he ain't got nobody to throw it to besides CeeDee Lamb. So if I'm the rest of the team, I'm a football coach. I'm triple teaming CeeDee Lamb. Because who else you getting ready to throw the ball to?
Right. Nobody.
Right. And Zeke then got his money. So he ain't trying to get hurt. He's not going through he's not hitting the holes hard anymore like he was before.
Right.
He's just not it's just not effective. It just wasn't fun being a Cowboys fan yesterday. But at the same time, it was Tom Brady. It was
Right.
Tom Brady. I really didn't expect to win that game anyway because it was Tom Brady. Tom not getting ready to lose no first game out of the season. It's just not getting ready to happen. You know,
And
um,
he's never lost to the Cowboys.
and he's never lost to the Cowboys, right? So what made us think? Now, Cowboys played them really, really well last season, um, but it wasn't even close to that same caliber of a game like it was last year
Right.
when they played them last year. I don't know. They definitely didn't look like the number one offense in the league last year. It's like they did a whole total 180 on that, and now
Mhm.
they look like one of the worst. They couldn't move the ball or they couldn't do anything. It was horrible, right? But there was lots of changes and stuff that was made, and you putting people at right tackle who ain't never played right tackle, and they're used to playing. I mean, how are they supposed to get reps at those areas? And of course, I'm talking football. So if you don't know football, you don't know what I'm talking about. You can't put a player on in a position that they haven't gotten any reps at, that they haven't practiced. Literally, I mean, it's like, oh, I can't expect to go and play tennis if I haven't practiced, or any other sport for that matter. We got Christina Coleman on here. I haven't played volleyball in a long time, but I would have to get some reps in with passing and bumping and setting before I would feel comfortable with actually going out and participating in a game.
And
I
then
would
you got someone like me. I can get all the reps in the world. I'm not good at volleyball. So
have
me getting a whole bunch of reps, it's not really gonna help me because I don't have that's not natural. That's not a natural sport for
Mm,
me. But you get
yeah.
me on the softball field or field hockey, which is another sport that people are like, well, what's field hockey? Black people don't play field hockey. But we do. And we're also starting to get into ice hockey, which is another huge, huge sport. And so we want to talk about these sports that could ultimately bring scholarship dollars to the Black community to pay for college. You can go to college for free.
Ooh, that's definitely
Christina,
what it's all about.
hold on. I got to post this comment. Christina talking about the reps will help me, child. Now listen, Christina knows, okay? Because I used to be Christina's SID, Sports Information Director. She has seen me in their practices, okay? I hate running, but I will run before I get out there and embarrass myself trying to hustle and get a dig or, set the ball. They would call double double hands, a lift on me every time I touch the ball. So I love you, Christina. I'm not sure the reps will help me though. I'm not. Plus, I'm old, so I'm not sure that the Lord.
Well, I definitely can't wait to get Christina on as a guest. She's
Yes,
a beast of a volleyball coach. She coached my daughter in track when my daughter was in high school. So she's a beast as a track as a coach. Period. She's a great
mhm,
coach, very motivational, and she is starting the new program at Simmons College, which is a HBCU here in Kentucky. We have two HBCUs. We have Kentucky State and we have Simmons College, but Simmons College didn't have any sports programs. Well, now they're starting up sports programs, and Christina's going to be the first head volleyball coach to start up that program. I'm so excited for her. That's
yes.
my girl.
And let's
Yeah.
talk about as a coach how awesome of a recruiter that she
Oh,
is
yes.
as well.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
her knowledge of recruiting is pretty impeccable. I mean, she's out there, she knows her stuff, but she also has an incredible eye for talent.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and also the ability to develop student athletes who may come in, and that ain't nobody gonna be like me on a basketball court. Okay, right? You ain't got to do that much development, but she does take it beyond the court, and I think that's so important because a
She
lot
takes
of
them from good
schools,
to great.
yes, and a lot of schools get in trouble because they're not keyed in on the academic side. And one thing I can say is Christina will sit your butt down. You could be her top player, and she's going to sit you down if your grades or your attitude even are not up to par. So kudos to Christina for launching into the new but continuing in the great. So we can't wait
We
to
can't wait.
have you on. It's just a matter of time. So you might as well go ahead and email us with, text us with your availability because it's going down. What else do we have? What man, I feel like there's so much, even talking about college football, right? And the shakeup that happened over the weekend with so many teams.
Ooh, so many huge teams that got beat by the smaller team. But so let's talk. Okay, so let's talk about it. But how about they getting paid 1.2 million, a million, but HBCUs get paid 500,000, 300,000, go get beat. So Coach Sanders, Deion
Deion
Sanders,
Sanders, prime time.
prime time, made a comment today. I saw it where he was like, well, let's look at the numbers. Okay. He says, we got a price. If we got to go to one of these schools and get beat by 40, 50 points, it's going to cost you.
Okay.
We don't mind coming, but pay us too. But how come they're not paying the HBCUs the 1.2, and they're the ones that need it the most, right?
Right. And I think the mentality almost, it seems to be, just looking at some of the comments and everything, is, well, they're used to it. You used to what?
Used to what?
What you mean? We're and so it blows my mind that and maybe I shouldn't be surprised because it's not like racism and ignorance has gone anywhere. It's always been here,
And it's
right?
not going
But
anywhere.
it just seems like we would be doing better. Like, you would, if that were your kid, would you really want your kid being used to not having? Absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
And so, they're kids. They're still kids, right? So, and I know I'm taking this in a little bit of a different direction, but when you think about it, like when a kid misses a game-winning catch or free throw or whatever, and then you have these crazy fans who start sending the coach and the kid death threats. What? And it's like, oh my gosh, like, what is wrong with people?
I mean, there are some parts of the sports community that's definitely it needs to be fixed. Even remember a couple of weeks ago in Texas where the coach got shot in front of his son and in front of his team because
Yes.
a parent got mad about something. Are you really? Is it that? It's not that serious. It's serious, but it's not that serious to be coming up and shooting a parent or a coach or whatever, just to, and killing them over a little league game. A little league game that ain't got no. That's no money involved.
Right.
you know,
And
there's
it's
no
Little
money
League.
involved with that. So
I
why
need
are
you to say that again. Little
there
League.
was no money involved with that?
Little League games have become more ridiculous and dangerous and crazy and manic than like pro sports. It's insane
Yeah.
the way these parents are acting.
I'm not gonna
Um,
lie. I when I was coaching girls basketball, and I remember, so we had a coach here at Kentucky. His name was Billy Gillespie. He lasted 2 years and he was horrible. I was getting called Billy Gillespie. I got threatened by a parent whose child was not that good. They were not a basketball player, but her role on my team was she was my best defensive player because that was her role, because she wasn't a scorer. Well, the parents, of course, wanted her to be a scorer, so they felt like I was mistreating her, and that I wasn't treating her fairly, and and I was like, okay, she finally learned how to make a layup. So okay, I don't have a problem with her on the fast break making a layup as
Wait
long
a
as she's
minute.
making it. But
Not a layup.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it was
That's
like
like
that.
the first drill that we do.
Right, is what I'm trying to tell you, right? We can't do a left hand layup
Woo!
and a right hand layup, but y'all are dogging me because she's not scoring, right? So I'm thinking like, one of the things that I always say to parents is, like I said, we coach, and so when I have my parent meeting, I tell them up front, don't try coaching them up now. You didn't had 10, 11, 12, 11, 50 years to
Listen,
coach them up before we got them.
what they say, 50, 11.
50, 11,
11.
50, 11 years where you had them before, before we had them. So now don't try to coach them up now. Don't try
Right.
to coach them up now, right? And so we've had parents that come to us and question us about, we're teaching them this, and they actually, they don't, the parents are supposedly coaches, and these kids don't have a clue what the heck is going on the field. And we're like, okay, our child is a coach's kid. We expect him to be, he's supposed to be good. That's why he's going to Kentucky. He's a
Right.
coach's kid. And his parents are good coaches. And but sometimes that doesn't necessarily project onto the child the level of coaching ability of the parent. And sometimes that needs to be a wake-up call. Of course, them gonna be the controversial
Listen.
conversations that we gonna have, right? I'm gonna
And
go back to Christina. She got two studs over her house. Both of them kids is the bomb.com
listen,
because they're coaches' kids. You know what I'm saying?
at every
And it
sport that they
shows.
play too.
They are beasts.
Ballers at every sport.
Yeah.
They can
Beasts.
play, they can get out. I
They can
bet they can
play
sit on the
anything. I bet you
volleyball court too.
she put volleyball, they would kill it. Tennis, they'd kill it. Golf. If she tried them at any other sport, I guarantee they would pick it up just
They
like
would.
that because they are true
Absolutely.
athletes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think as parents, it's okay for us to relinquish the coaching to someone else who knows the sport, has played the sport, is trained to deal with it. Our emotions get too high. And I think that's why
Oh
we have
yeah.
so many little league incidents. Like people are literally shooting up crowds of people at a little league game, at a high school game. Like, what is wrong with y'all? So there's so many different aspects of sports, and I got my master's degree in athletic administration with a concentration in the sociology of sport.
Mhm.
And one thing that I learned, I saw, and I've really paid attention to is that sports often mimic society. And sports is one of the greatest forms of unification, but it also represents society. And so when you have violent individuals, if they're violent in society and they've not done anything to correct that behavior, to change that behavior, um, to heal from that behavior, you will see that on the football field. You'll see it when they get home,
In their
right?
personal life,
In
yes.
their personal lives. That's why we have incidents like, who is the guy that was caught on video? It was like the baby
Oh,
in his
that
home.
that beat the mess out of his girlfriend with the baby
Yes,
there.
yes. Then we have, and we'll talk about this too, because this burns me up. So Deshaun Hunt, I mean Deshaun Hunt. I didn't combine the two players' names. Deshaun Watson just got suspended for 11 games. It
11
was 6,
games.
and now it's 11 for inappropriate conduct, sexual misconduct. And my personal beliefs are that you're not going to have close to 30 women telling the exact same story and you not have done something, right? Something about that story is factual. But then you also have Kareem Hunt. Never got, and he should have been suspended. He should have been banned from the NFL for what he did. He literally beat his
her. Yeah. Yeah, he beat
like,
her.
and it's like we've forgotten what he's done. But this is one of the reasons why they say the NFL is such a joke, because there's no consistency in their discipline. You know, it's like they pick and choose who they're going to make an example of.
Yeah.
Rather than having a policy that holds everybody accountable at the same level. And so we had a player, I forget his name. I got to look it up. He had a year-long suspension for marijuana. I got to find this player's name.
So a year-long suspension for marijuana, but then for domestic violence, you get what?
I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Right. Yeah, but again, that's the point. That's very
Right.
that's that doesn't make any
It's
sense.
inconsistent.
Yes.
Um.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all, right? But again, those are we're gonna talk about it over these next weeks, months, hopefully years. We're gonna have some serious conversations, or just bringing awareness to just topics that are sports related, stuff that that we deal with in the community, even the whole fairness thing. I forgot to send you the that picture that compared Jimbo Fisher with
Yeah.
Summerlin. Yeah, where they both had the same amount of games, but Summerlin got fired, but Jimbo Fisher is still there. So you would have thought that after Jimbo Fisher lost to who he lost, Appalachian State, that he should have got fired. If that would have been a black coach, he'd have been gone, right?
Been gone.
So when you're a black coach, your leash is this long. You don't get the opportunities to redeem yourself.
No, you don't.
I'm thinking about Willie Taggart and Charlie Strong. Those are some of those coaches that that were fired just really, really quickly. But if they were a white coach, they would not have had that same opportunity.
Right.
So or the coaches that get paid $17 million to walk away. That's $17 million. You could have paid them players, and you just paid this guy to go sit at home. And if I was him, I'd have took it too. 17 million, and I get to go home. Tell me how quick and how fast you want me up out of here.
Right. I might even leave all my stuff here. Y'all can donate it or sell it.
And that's what Coach, what happened with Coach Orgeron. He got on a video and actually said, they told me $17 million to go away. How fast and how quick and how long you need me up out of here, because I'm out.
Right. So I just
17 million. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kareem Hunt got suspended 8 games
for marijuana.
No.
Oh, for the domestic violence.
For the domestic violence case. That was only after the video surfaced. And even though he didn't appeal his suspension, I think just the fact that he was only suspended 8 games.
Right. And did you find the one who was suspended for a whole year for just marijuana?
I'm about to find his name. I literally, and I should have saved it. I feel like I should have saved it. I saw it on Twitter and I should have saved it.
Every time I see something, yeah. I mean, now that we got this podcast going on, I got to do better with saving stuff and writing notes. I'm going to have to get a different notebook for just the stuff so I can keep up with it, so that when we bring it up in the podcast, because we don't have a script. I mean, I don't have nothing written down or anything like that. We are literally just having a conversation. like we always do. So
Okay, so it's Silas Red.
gotcha. Who did he play for?
Let's see. I'm trying to.
I don't remember who he played for. Kansas City, I thought.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
But anyway, so we're getting ready to wrap this up in about 4 minutes, sis.
Yeah, it goes by fast.
It done went by fast. It done went by fast. Yeah. So I can't wait to talk about as you're pulling that up. I can't wait to talk about um how to help women like with relationships part. You know, I did a podcast with my friend Cynthia Robinson, and I had brought the subject up about like me and my husband's relationships, and how football kind of just brought us together. Like I don't know what, like if you don't like sports and your man likes sports, I don't know how y'all get along during football season when there's football on. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
And some,
You know,
yeah. I mean, and if you coach,
I can see why there's a lot of, I know. I have a friend, a good friend of mine, and he said that he was dating this girl and she was pretending to like sports. And he was really digging her. He said, I'm glad I found out before I did something crazy, like get married to her. And then she turned around and flipped the script on me, and she really don't like sports. And now you fussing because I want to sit and watch the game.
It's a whole lot of arguments going on. You gonna be mad because I'm gonna have my friends over.
I know so many of my friends, male friends, that are married to women that don't like sports. And I'm thinking, like, why would that not be a priority when y'all are sitting down having a discussion, getting to know each other?
Listen to me.
Like, why aren't we sitting down watching a game, before we say I do and before we put a ring on it? To make sure you ain't perpetrating the fraud. Because you know what they do. They'll, I think Steve Harvey said it take about 90 days for you to have show your representative. Sometimes it takes longer before you show your true colors, right? But for me, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't be with a man that didn't like sports.
Right. Listen. I can't do it.
I couldn't be with a man that didn't like sports. Like we would be sitting here fussing, like we would be arguing. Because I'm like, if you don't bring me something to drink and some chips so I can watch this game and be quiet.
Look, I just posted the other day. I said, from September
to February
through the second Sunday in February, right? If I can't put on a sports bra and some sweats, eat some chips and dip, right, and yell and scream, I probably ain't coming. Like,
right,
don't you?
Right.
I mean, and don't be mad if I pull out my cell phone and I got my NFL Sunday ticket playing,
right?
Or you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be watching something. That's
right,
and that's just me. It's not, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Now, obviously,
I'm going to be watching a game.
Everything, but I'm going to be watching.
I'm going to be watching a game and somebody's game
doing something on the field.
Period.
And I said, so let me clear this up for you. From September through the second Sunday in February, you don't have to ask what I'm doing.
You don't.
On Thursday through
Friday,
Monday.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Again, I have games on Wednesday. Yes. Tuesday is the only day. And now that we got this podcast, don't contact me between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesday. You better catch me before. And you ain't gonna catch me after because I gotta go to bed because I
I'm
gotta
going
get
to
up
bed.
early in the morning.
I'm going to bed. As soon as we click in broadcast, Terri and Dani are in bed. See, Christina said, I just watched a volleyball game in the car. Oh, that's right. And listen, so there are times where, if I am out and about, I always make sure that I can stream the games, be it a like now, like my dad and I will sit. We don't have any connections to the high school here,
I was going to say my
right?
son's games
So
are. We have a link where you can watch their game. I think you have
it's
to pay
free,
for it.
but
Yeah,
we still watch the game sometimes, right? Those are Friday nights. So your son plays on Friday nights. So that's why we said, and then you coach Wednesday and Thursday.
yeah. Our
There's
games are Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I'm at practice on Monday through Thursday.
yeah.
I'm practicing as soon as I get off of work. So my schedule is really really tight.
And even though I'm not coaching anymore, you know, I'm still connected. I'm still doing things. I have a couple of players that have reached out for me to help them with their speed and agility and their footwork, right? So, that's going to be another time, and it may not happen this season. It may be during, maybe some postseason workouts for them. But regardless, the fact of the matter is that we're busy, y'all. We're busy. But we love y'all. And we also understand the importance of pouring back into the community because that's how we got to where we are.
I mean, I'm gonna just be straight up honest. Sports saved my life,
Mm,
literally.
yeah. How about that?
How about that? Saved my life, and that's the reason why I have the passion for it. And I'm just so thankful for you for pushing me to start this podcast with you. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Um, Today was already fun. It's
It
already
went by so
fun. It
fast
went
too.
by
It's
so
like, look,
fast.
it's bedtime, girl.
It's time to
Time
go
to go
night
to
night.
bed. Go night night. You want to go night night? Yes, I do, actually. So Terri, tell our crew, tell our family, friends, audience what we have on deck for them each week. You want to talk about the format of our show?
Yeah, let me talk about. Let's see. We're gonna try to have an inspirational quote. We're gonna try to do a recap of like especially football, like the college and NFL, maybe like the top, maybe not the whole thing, but maybe like
Yeah,
some of the top scores or games that might have been played. Like this past weekend, there was some big school like Notre Dame. Watch how fast Notre Dame's coach gets fired. Watch how fast he gets fired. He done lost.
and he
He's
got
the
he
first
got
coach that
he
that
got beat by my friend. My friend is the coach there, Charles Huff from Marshall.
from Marshall. Yeah. Right. And
He
so
played football at Hampton when
when
I
you
was at Hampton. Yeah.
okay. Right. And so but watch out, I don't know what his salary was, but I guarantee they'll be real quick to be like, we don't even care. He gotta go.
Yep.
Right. He's the first coach to lose 3 games in a row. So but watch how quick, I won't be surprised if this is his last season, or if he loses another game, he probably will not make it
It's gonna be out.
the rest of this season. But it's gonna be tight for him, right? We're gonna keep him in prayer, you know. But those are we'll do like a little recap of stuff like that. Some of the major stuff that happened. We'll give an educational moment. For instance, we'll have a maybe talk about football, like defensive schemes or offensive schemes, or maybe the rules
Positions,
or
helping you learn the
positions, helping
position.
you learn the positions, or
Mhm.
some of the terminology that deals with football, so that you can learn it, because it has its own language.
It
um
does.
But one of the things that I love about football too is it helped me to communicate better with my husband because I can use a football scenario that he can relate to kind of bring my point across the stuff, as opposed to using something else. You know, men love sports, but when you kind of not really throw back in their face, but when you kind of use something that they can truly relate to, it really really helped with our communication.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll close with a preview of next week's show. What we got for next week, sis?
So we definitely going to talk about the 9 Black women officiating crew, full officiating crew. And I definitely want to dive into um, the. Can we talk about the Broncos and Russell Wilson losing to the Seahawks? Like, what?
How sad was that? But you know what though? There was two, but they fumbled the ball in the end zone twice.
Price. And they gave up a big play towards the end of the game, which
Yeah.
you just can't do. And then let's also talk about something that a lot of people don't know. Russell Wilson is not that tall
He's
for a
only
quarterback.
5'10".
He's 5'10".
Dude, he's only an inch taller than me.
So when you talk about being a quarterback in the NFL, you got linemen that are, I mean, they're literally close to 7 feet tall.
Right. How does he look? How can he see over the line?
And when your line is not blocking for you and creating the sight lines that you need to make that good pass.
But that might be also a reason why Russell Wilson only has a 64% accuracy in
what is it? His first
in the first two downs.
First two downs.
Right, which is not good.
We're going to talk about. No,
so
that's
is
not
he as good? So is he really that good?
Is he really that good, or because what did he do with the Seahawks?
He got they won a Super Bowl.
Right. So was it him, or maybe it was his line? So those are the things we're going to talk about.
This is what I know. I mean, we're supposed to be done, but this is what happens when we be talking. Our 10-15 minute conversation ends up turning into 3 hours
easily every time.
2 or 3 hours, because we can go on and on and on about about stuff like that. You're right. So another thing that I want to bring up next week. So next Saturday, the 24th, is the Lexington African American Inaugural Hall of Fame. And so I would definitely want to talk about some of those athletes that we are going to be inducting into our Hall of Fame here in Lexington.
But hold on, because this is another opportunity where she's not telling you what she's doing, right? She's the co-founder of the Hall of Fame.
No, I'm not the co-founder of the Hall of Fame. I'm just a board member. That's it. I'm not the co-founder. The co-founders are Bobby and Jennifer Jones, and they are the founder. They're a husband and wife couple, and they are the founders. And well, they're both co-founders of the Hall of Fame. No,
I apologize.
I cannot.
She's still on the board.
No, don't give that to me. That's
on the
not
board.
me.
She's still
I'm
on the board. She's on the board.
That's it. I'm just a board member. That's it. Only that.
Not just a board member. She is she's one of the steering board members for the inaugural Hall of Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky African American Hall of Fame. Come on, sis.
I know we gonna get it, but we got it's next Saturday. We definitely got to talk about that.
Yes. So
tune in.
Tune in. We're gonna be live again next Tuesday, the 20th, 9 p.m. Eastern. The way I'm sweating tonight, I might have to do it from. I might have to do it from the co-working space where I teach this class, because we might have to start at 9:15. But I'm so excited. I'm grateful for everybody that has tuned in. We can't wait to just continue building this platform, because it is something that's We're going to have a lot of fun up here, but we're going to have some tough conversations, like why the NFL is consistently experiencing horrible issues with domestic violence and abuse, where there's no accountability. There's no good policy in place. There's no consistency. And so when you have these issues, then what are you doing to correct them? And when you don't do enough to correct them, you're going to continue having the same issues. So we're going to talk about stuff like that. We're going to talk about games. We're going to talk about Terri's games. We're going to get Christina on here. We're going to get Monique Smith on here for sure, because what she's doing for women in athletics is
unbelievable.
And she does it, and she's the quiet storm, for real.
Absolutely.
She still gets me all the way together. I was an intern for her at Hampton University. Actually, she was actually at the CIAA office, which is headquartered in Hampton. And I was one of her interns, and from that point on, I was just like, you really gonna have to like that. I'm gonna have to die before you get rid of me. Like, kind of, But
she's one of those people that when you're networking, you're like, oh my gosh, she knows everybody.
She knows everybody. And she knows everything.
Yes,
she
in
is.
The sports, when it comes into the sports community, she's so connected. Yes,
so connected. So many people have received jobs, better jobs, promotions, and started their own businesses in athletics because of her tutelage. So
absolutely.
Shout out to, and that's another crazy thing, is that Terri and I know her. We're in the same group and didn't come on. So that's why we say, this is definitely a divine connection, a divine appointment. And so we're excited to be here. We're excited to share with you all our relationship and our friendship and our knowledge and the connections that we have that can help you all. Obviously, if you're a coach or a student athlete or a parent of a student athlete or a spouse of a coach, but also in your personal lives, because we believe that sports transcends lives, right? It transcends lives. It's multi-generational, it's multicultural, and what you see in sports is what you experience in real life. So we're bringing you the real, hoping that you continually tune in. Please, please, please share this podcast and our Facebook and Instagram pages with your family and friends and coworkers. And as the weeks go on, we hope that we're providing enough knowledge for you that you will also want to bring us in and do some staff training, some speaking engagements, and all of that. We know that'll come with time, but we're just letting you know. Tell your friends to pull up.
All right, we signing off. We ready?
We ready. We ready. Look, I done dropped my phone, so I gotta get our music popping. Gotta get the music popping so we can head on out. But thank you all so much.
Absolutely.
For tuning in tonight and rocking out with us. All right, y'all. Have a good night.